Welcome, everyone. Let's stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Holly, roll call.
Councilperson Bettis.
Here.
Councilperson Houghton.
Here.
Councilperson McAuliffe.
Here.
Supervisor Sheffer.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman.
Here. All right, so get right into it. First, is there anyone here to address the board? That said, I'd like to welcome the Niles family here. We have a special presentation tonight. Oh, we got some strong with it. So we have a special presentation tonight to some very good friends of ours in the whole town, business owners for a long, long time, and like I said, friends to many of us. Rick, why don't you come up, and Rick has some things that he's going to present, and we'll do a little more too.
Okay, so my name is Rick Farinini. For anybody that doesn't know me, I'm the town historian. It's a real honor to stand here tonight and recognize Bob Auto Parts and the Niles family. Bob, a former classmate of mine. So we're going to honor something that doesn't come around very often. Over 60 years of dedication, hard work, and community commitment, carried across not just one lifetime, but two generations. Bob's dad, Bob Sr., started out working at a Buick dealership around 1957 or so. And by 1959, 1960, he opened up a garage here in Hoosick Falls on 180 Church Street, up by the Carries. Then he added a tow business shortly after. And by the end of 1960, he bought the building over on River Road from the Von Hagen family. It was Link and Harry Von Hagen, I think, ran the garage there for many years. So, and then by 1972, they were a Big A auto franchise. By 1978, a Napa franchise. And around 1982, Bob Jr. started working there full-time, in the family business. And Sharon started there about 1986, my notes say. So tonight we celebrate more than a business, we celebrate a legacy. For decades, this auto parts store has been a place people could count on, not just for parts and tools, but for honest advice, helping hand, and the kind of personal service that's become harder to find. Whether someone walked in knowing exactly what they needed or had no idea where to start, they were always met with patience, knowledge, and respect. The kind of reputation isn't built overnight. It's earned day by day, customer by customer, year after year. The first generation laid the foundation with grit and vision. They built something strong enough to last. Then the second generation carried it forward, not just maintaining it, adapting with the times, staying true to the values that made it special in the first place. That's no small feat. Family businesses come with long hours, tough decisions, and plenty of sacrifice. Weekends, holidays, early mornings, you name it. But they also came with pride, purpose, and deep connection to the community. Just a note here, I put that only 3 out of 100 businesses in America make it more than 60 years. Only 3 out of 100. That's quite a feat. Think about how many people have walked through those doors over the years. How many cars got back on the road because of your help? How many conversations, stories, and relationships were built right there at the counter? You weren't just selling parts. You were keeping people moving. You were solving problems. You were part of people's everyday lives. That's what makes this moment so meaningful. Retirement marks the end of a chapter, but it also celebrates a job incredibly well done. To the family, thank you for your decades of service, for your integrity, for your commitment to doing things the right way when it always wasn't the easy way. You've left a mark that won't fade anytime soon. And while the business may change hands, the legacy you built will continue, and the people you've helped, the standards you've set, and the example you've given. So tonight, we don't say goodbye to a business. We say congratulations to an extraordinary journey. Here's to 60 years of hard work, family pride, and community impact. And here's to whatever comes next. May it be as fulfilling and a little more relaxing and well-deserved. To Bob's Auto Parts, a truly historic Hoosick business.
On the tails in there.
Yes.
All right, so I get to play two roles. Bob and Sharon have known me since I was literally born, and so we'll start as a farmer business owner first. So growing up on a farm, you know, we just kind of talked about the holidays, the nights, the weekends. I can't tell you how many times these two would say, you know, hey, if it's a Sunday and a hydraulic hose blows, or you know, this breaks, you know, it's an inventory, call us, we're around. And we never wanted to be the people that took them up on that, but a few times we had to, you know, rain coming, or, you know, weather, or we had to get out of town, or they were always there. And if they weren't there, they had a really good reason that they couldn't be. You know, they were like family to us. We were in there all the time. We certainly were not the biggest customer, but we were pretty much regular. Sometimes, especially harvest season, we'd be there almost every day. And every chance we got, we always kept it local. They were as honest as as honest as they come, and they would just work relentlessly to get everything we needed met. And I regularly and after hours. Like I said, the Sunday thing, I would try to, like late nights, we try to do that as little as possible. But, you know, sometimes it happens. And fast forward. I remember the conversation with these two when I said that I was going to run for town office, and the reaction was, well, we really want you on the board, but you're crazy. Are you sure you want to do it? And that's the honesty that, you know, that comes along with the Niles family. You never had to worry about, you know, if you wanted their opinion, they were going to give it. And that's huge, because a lot of people won't, or they'll give you one that's not true, and that never happened. With that said, the town side of things, we have a proclamation that I'm going to present from the board to you. And the middle, I'm going to skip because Rick did a great job of the historic part, but the beginning and end I want to talk about. This is a proclamation commending the dedication to and service of the town, service of the town of Hoosick by the Niles family and Bob's Auto Parts. Whereas the Town of Hoosick Board seeks to recognize and commend residents and businesses that have contributed greatly to the Hoosick community. And whereas the acknowledgement that the Niles family and Bob's Auto Parts is a valued piece of Hoosick history and an example of residents that always have and continue to excel in setting a positive example for Hoosick. Claims, as the Town of Hoosick Board, we commend the vision, dedication, and service of the Niles family of the Town of Hoosick for multiple generations, and we wish the very best to the Niles family. Thank you. And Bruce and Jeff, our county legislators, have some words and a presentation.
I know that.
Jeff and I are very happy to be here. Both known the Niles family for a long time. And before I have my comments, there's a lot of things in here that Mr. Chairman got a little covered up. But this is a proclamation commending the rich history of Bob's Auto Parts and Hoosick Falls. Now consistent with the duty of this legislative body to recognize contributions and achievements of the citizens and businesses around our county. We take great pride and great respect and admiration and achievements of outstanding citizens whose examples have enriched the lives of all within our community. Now, attendant to such duty and fully in accord with its long-standing traditions, it is the intent of this legislative body to convey its compliments to Bob's Auto Parts for years of dedication to their community. And then it has all the same things that Rick had said. And then it's proclaimed as recommended by the District 5 legislators, Bruce Petrie and Jeff Wysocki. We do hereby commend the rich history that Bob's Auto Parts has provided to the Hoosick Falls community and wish the family the best in all future endeavors. Now, I go way back to when Bob Senior opened. And I was a young lad in high school. And we used to have a lot of good conversations about cars and things in general. And then as the years went on, I got married and had children. And my children were picking up parts. And they were always said, boy, Sharon, she's sharp for a woman. I said, yeah, you want to put nothing over on her? Yeah. Okay. And, you've heard it all. Oh, it's great to have your own business. Yeah. How many of you guys would give up a Sunday to come down and make a hydraulic hose for somebody because you know they need it? Okay. And I had a lot of customers. They needed their cars. I'd call you up. It's hard to get part. Somehow you would get it, whether you sent somebody to the city or whatever, you got the part. And I got my customers back on the road. And they said, oh, geez, thank you. And I took all the credit. Yeah. Okay. So that taught me how to be a politician. Somebody else was doing. But seriously, great, honest people. I love working with you guys. You know that. We had such great conversations, and you support us so much politically in person. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You're good people. Wish we had more like you in the town of Hoosick.
I think we do.
Thank you. Yeah.
As Rick said, Bob and I went to kindergarten. So I've known him 59 years. So, he's a neighbor. My grandparents were right next to him. We've always had business with him from the farm and personal. And like Bruce said, they've always supported us. And, in our town board members, when we were on there or in the legislature, and they also told us we were crazy, but we need you guys there. So, but like I said, Sharon was always helpful there, always told you what you needed or. And political. Yeah. Never pulled a punch, did you? But I'm just happy that somebody took the business over and now you can enjoy whatever comes forward. Grandkids or whatever, and enjoying your daughters. So congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are fun. I like it.
We need a light.
You don't care, Bill.
Sorry, that makes sense.
I'll take my hand off.
Summer and that's like everybody posing in the backyard.
And you repeat my own.
The new people, all the new people are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. You guys will love them.
Yeah.
I get it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going back to it. Ball game. All right. All right, so correspondence and announcements, they're all in front of us. The fire department annual community event that's been on there. Let's see, coming up with this Saturday, the Hoosick History and Heritage Fair. Do you have anything more to add than?
No, it's ramping up to be one of the biggest events we have. The weather's gonna be good.
Yeah.
We here at the Armory, there's gonna be free trolley rides from here to the Bennington battlefield. We do a little trip around town and I give people some useless facts. Some stuff that I embellish a little bit, and I usually have some new stories, and there's some missing gold coins in North Hoosick that we're gonna talk about too, so Bombs Gold. There may be like 80 gold coins buried in North Hoosick that I'm working on, so we'll talk about that on the trolley set. So there's a lot of stuff going on here at the Armory.
And the Memorial Day Parade coming up Monday the 25th. Any entries, reach out to the weekend. All right, Holly.
All right, so for the month of April, camp was $38,340. The AM PM care for camp, $1,440. Subdivision application fee is $50. Building permits and property searches total was $3,240. Conservation DEC, $2,686. Dog licenses, $277.50. Marriage license, $40. Miscellaneous fees, which includes death certificates, marriage certificates, and stamps, $231.32 for a total of $46,309.32. And submitted to the supervisor as $43,667.11. So I didn't bring it in with me, but we have a facility use request this month for the community band to use the rink on the rainy days. He submitted it to me. I did not have an insurance binder with it. So I don't know if you want to, I don't know if they ever have submitted an insurance binder. They may.
They must have, because I mean, we always do it. If they don't have it, so
I think it's always, but yeah, I think that they're going to submit it afterwards, but
so why don't we table it? We don't, I mean, that's what's the first, I mean, it's not.
yeah, July.
So let's
They
table
usually
it,
get it in.
let's table it till June
Okay.
and then we'll make sure they have. it.
Yeah, I think they're just worried about getting a key to the facility, and that's basically why they wanted to do it early. Which is fine. That's fine. And then,
Where are we at? Did we get
I was just gonna ask that.
the two back from,
from
Ice
the ice makers, no.
because I kind of spun out there as I thought but that's the ones that I collected, I think it was Christmas Eve, went to the ice maker, so they were getting that cold. And obviously the one went from one to the other because the one quit, but at any rate, I do have the 10th, whatever the number is that Mark's was, I have that key.
Okay,
So
so
I do
I
have
will,
that.
okay, so I'll put that down for you.
Anyone that I physically touch is accountable. Let's make that clear. Because I was very confused for again 2 days. So, okay, anyway, so we'll
All
work
right.
on getting the rest of it, because if they're gonna have one for that time.
Yeah, they'll
period,
have
we
it
need to
for
make
the
sure
whole
that we have
span.
them all
Yep.
back first.
Yes. And that'll probably, I won't have any after I give that key out because I'm waiting for those two to be returned.
Yeah, well, this year over there typing, so they'll be back.
Okay. All right, so the late tax collection issues. I think Eric and I have had a conversation about this. We had a situation that came up this year, and I talked to the Rensselaer County Bureau of Finance regarding accepting personal checks after the mid-March. And the only reason why I say this is because if a check bounces, I turn over my books within a week after they close out at the end of March. And if I have any checks that bounce, it comes back, and I don't get that before I turn my books over. So now I'm turning over money that really isn't
Is it there?
right. So, Michelle did suggest that we stop taking personal checks at like the mid of March and only do certified checks and money orders and obviously cash and credit cards, which guarantees the funds. And I don't have to worry about chasing people down and getting the money back, basically. So I spoke with Ryan, and I think he suggested that if we do that, we're gonna have to do a local law, correct?
Yeah, I would need to do a little bit of research, but B, I think it would need to be a local law where it's just like, hey, because we've done some tax laws in the past, adopting the county and state exemptions for seniors, things like that. So I'll look and see what other towns have done. And if it's a fairly straightforward process, it would just be a matter of holding a public hearing and then adopting a local law, to the effect of, cutoff date for personal checks is both.
And that's something that we would probably have to publicize also at the start of tax season, I would assume, by way of
Correct.
going out with.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's practically speaking, that would always be recommended. Yeah, especially when tax time comes. We've got this beautiful new website and great, community outreach campaign. So I think that would be, if the board wanted to go that direction, you do the postings and everything and hold a public hearing.
Yeah.
But if we do that over the next couple of months, then people will forget by the time tax time
Right.
is again. So then we could blast out again.
Like a reminder.
A reminder, and Holly can have it obviously for people to read in her office and post it and everything like that, and the town's website, everything. So, but this is, I imagine, not a overly unique issue to municipalities. So I'll do some digging on that and put together kind of a proposal for the board to review, and then we can kind of go from there.
Michelle at the Bureau of Finance did say that there is another town that does that. And she has posted that she won't take personal checks after like the 15th of March. So,
Okay.
And then do you have anything, I know Holly and I have been keeping in touch with each other regarding the banking and, pulling away from key bank potentially. Is there anything-
yes, so I had a conversation today with David. They're all on board with me moving to Pioneer. I did ask him about the courier. And he did say yes, that they provide courier. I say, because I know that the Hoosick Falls Central School uses it. Is that something that we would be able to have them kind of piggyback with us and get ours the same time that they're over there? And he said, yes. He said, but they move their dates around sometimes during the week, depending on what kind of money they have that they need transported. I would encourage people to use checks and credit cards, but still accept the cash when that's what they have. So in that respect, I mean, I told them I'm all on board. I was going to present it to you guys tonight, and we'll move forward if
And
you guys want to.
You don't see an issue with the flexible dates that they have, just you can like piggyback onto those with no issue? You don't see?
There shouldn't be any issue, no. I mean, if it's like they're only doing it every 2 weeks, that's going to be an issue.
Okay.
But she did say that because Dave is retiring very shortly, from what I'm understanding. So Kathy is taking over his duties. And she was in on the conversation with Dave and I today. And he basically said that he can get the check remote deposit thing that Ray has in her office. He can set up one for mine. And checks will go right in.
Okay.
If it's sent through this remote deposit, it will be in that day. So that should alleviate a lot of the check issues that I feel like I'm having if it goes directly right into the bank. Credit cards go in directly anyway, and they will work with the Forte that we have set up for our credit cards. So I really don't see any issue other than, if it's small deposits. That's the only thing that I see is if I don't have a weekly courier coming. That would be the only thing that we would have to do the deposit at that point.
Is there a possibility that during tax season, you could have cash coming in every day? And
Yep.
courier would come every day? Is that?
I'm assuming that if I have so much money, she would come, that she would have it set up where they would come every day. Yeah, I would have to. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's a lot.
You're required to
Yeah.
put the cash in right away.
You get 24 or 48 hours or something?
24. Yep. So,
Any other questions for Ally? Okay. Anything else, Ally?
I think that's it.
Paul?
It's been a pretty busy month. Couple things first, salt shed grant, there's really nothing to report this time. Talked to Megan today. The county soil and water is still, working with us on the application. The Council Bridge, I did speak to Wayne Bonesfield. And progress is being made on, the necessary easements. Property, so I think that's going forward. Just a couple things on, increased costs. To give you an idea, so I looked it up today. From this time last year, May to this May, blacktop, so, $8.50 a ton. Diesel fuel, I just looked back. In January, we were paying $2.70. In April, we paid $4.37. Gas being about the same. We were getting on the county bid for $2.08, and one slip looked at $3.60. So I think an April fuel bill, diesel and gas was $8,000. So we're using a lot of fuel. It makes a difference. It's going to make a difference. 850 tons. Got a good difference for blacktop. One work over. We did touching on New Road, Eagle Bridge Road, Burgess Road, and Beechwood Road. And last 3 weeks we've been upgrading. Most of the roads are done, just a couple left. We get a lot done as far as ditching and grading, and the weather's. So I have.
Paul, I know we're both incredibly busy right now, but when we get a rainy day, you and me and Ray ought to take a few minutes and go over year-to-date budget.
Yeah.
Look at the increase in costs and see if we need to do anything. I'd rather look at it now instead of, I guess,
Yeah.
We all have tons of time, but we should make that happen, so.
Yeah, I figure we'll have to cut back a little bit. But yeah, we can go over it and see. Where we're at.
I mean, you guys need, you need what you need to get the work done. The work has to get done, so. If we need a pivot. Anything else?
I think that's it.
We received Denise report. Ashley, you're up. You know what I just realized?
You forgot to.
Sure did. Sure did.
Oh, did you read this?
Is that
what it is?
Is that? Yeah,
I think that's
that's
all.
part of why I came here.
What's going on the rest?
No, it'll be a similar version. We'll
get that.
Another one.
Oh, yeah, to the top of it. I'm
He raised. Yeah. He bumped up last year. Yeah. All of them, the only one that would really need to change the support that would be the admission for the pool. That's going, just falling in the wage from 1535 to 15. And then the pool operator, once we agree on this, I will reach out to Matthew Angel and see if he's interested in taking on that course. He would be CPR, first aid, AED, lifeguard, WSI, and pool operator. So that's where that amount came from. Just that few extra bump for him.
So Ashley and I came up with that number independently and landed in the same numbers. So I did talk with Tom and, let him know that we're kind of thinking about going that route, with him getting that training. Tom was very receptive. So.
I did look at it. It's $390. It's an online course for 5 to 8 hours, self-paced. And then there's 1 day Zoom class from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's a lot of dates from now until June for him to do it, so college. And there's a final exam. So that's what it would take for that. And then if he gets this, then we try to follow Tom this year, and then we hope that Tom leaves and he takes over.
But Tom will.
Yeah, I don't think he's going.
We're not gonna let him.
Even the ice skating, he's like, I won't be here ever. He was every day.
He can't stay away. That's a good thing. It's the best.
And I think the only other change was we have 3 staff members for summer camp returning for this will be their 3rd year. And they requested I ask for a raise for them. Advocating for staff and asking to help them out. $2. They are also, those 3 are CPR first aid trained as well.
So does anyone have any questions for Ashley regarding the pay scale? I guess we can knock this resolution out now. If not.
Have any questions?
Okay, so resolution number 58 is a resolution regarding the pay rates for summer recreation employees. Our pay scale we just decided on will be attached to it. So I'm looking for a motion from someone for resolution number 58. Becky, Jerry. Discussion. All right, roll call vote.
Supervisor Shepherd,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman,
Yes.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes.
Councilperson McCollum,
Yes.
Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
For the list of counselors and lifeguards, do you need to read all those things? Or do you-
We have to approve. We can do that. We did the pay, we did do a motion to approve. Yeah, so go ahead, read that, you can take, read that.
Few changes, I had 2 reach out to me in the last few days. One to get pool admissions and then one for camp counselor. They got different jobs, more in their field of what they hope to do in the future, understandable. So returning counselors for camp would be Tori Backus, Jenna Backus, Lila Coon, and Madison Mulvihill. And then new staff would be Dan Pagothier, Emma Wilwell, Lily Swinga, Quinn Hayes, Gwen Vincent, Carter Dunn, and Sophia Hill. That'll be counselors. And then for the pool staff, we have our returning WSIs and lifeguards. WSI is the swimming lesson. So that's Aiden Fleming, Dylan Callahan, Matthew Angel, Carson Glover. And then regular lifeguards, Aiden DeGraff, Garrett Emerson, Ava Slavskoll, Brady Mann, Addison Fleming, Leah Angel, Nicholas Gregory, and Max McGee. And then for admissions, we have Elizabeth DeRosa and Amelia Pup.
Your motion for that. A motion for that list of employees to be approved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Chris, any discussion? Questions? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Reached out to my contact at the Department of Health who works specifically for camp. I believe it's different for the pool this year. That's different this year. But I reached out to her and I just let her know where we're at with trainings. Usually that's the last thing that happens. I let her know our timeline, that training will take place in June, and she said, no worries at all. Just get it to me when you can. We can fax it right to her. And then we have about 2 weeks in between end of all the trainings and the beginning of camp, so we should be good there. And she's aware of it and she appreciates me reaching out. The few forms I have to submit for the camp permit are the lifeguard certs, which will be done. Database checks, I sent all that info out, I'm just waiting to hear back. I'll send this one out tonight because I needed to approve the staff members first. They just go through, a sex offender, they send it back to me with all clear, or we need to do some work. And then training sign-in sheet, it's just they all sign a sheet, I send it, and I'm good to go. For camp and pool, we are all gonna meet together as one cohesive group of employees and do the orientation. We're hoping to do it here, that way Casey could use the copy machine. We're gonna get all the paperwork done, everything at one time. June 19th, are we able to get into this building?
Casey should have a key.
Okay,
there.
I did talk,
Yep.
she is off that day, but she said if we could do it, earlier in the morning, it would be perfect for her. Is there a use for the camp?
No.
Good, okay. All right, so that is on June 19th. Casey will be coming to help with all the paperwork and stuff like that for payment. Camper applications are coming in quickly. I'm going to send Holly an updated email. I put the last ones in tonight. We're over halfway there. Pretty good. Yeah. Word's traveling fast at school and other kids are like, I gotta tell my mom, so more will be coming.
And it's a lot of the older group.
Yes, the middle age group is
Yeah,
our biggest this year, so.
yeah.
Which is okay. Last year it was big on the 4-year-olds, so I'll take a little bit. I was introduced to our health director for camp. He's new this year. Eric and I met with him. And we're working on setting up a visit to the camp so they can come back and bring all the rescue squads and things like that. Since meeting with him, I'm gonna have to chat with him. We have a camper signed up with a few of those health concerns that he had. So I'll be meeting with him again. And then for our camp CPR, first aid, AED training, I'm gonna be working with the pool, and I have 4
Yes.
for the town coming as well. So I'll get you some dates.
Okay, perfect.
So camp, we're pretty good. Shifting to the pool, we have lifeguard training with a man named Keegan on June 12th through the 14th at our pool. Lucy Haynes has worked with him at the Bennington line. He's kind of his own independent trainer. He's gonna come, he's through American Red Cross. He'll come and do everything at our pool. There are a few things we're needing. I'm gonna reach out to our health director, see if he can help me with that, and then also work with the school. I'm sure the school will let us borrow their materials for that training. So that'll be June 12th, 13th, and 14th. We would need access to our pool. Hopefully that is.
He'd be in the water.
Yeah. We've done it in the past,
June, by June 12th.
yes. And I know it'll be cold.
For a hot
I know, we're gonna hope. Staff orientation for that will also be June 19th. Swimming lesson signups will be, May 15th from 5 PM to 7 PM and 16th from 9 AM to 11 AM. The only thing we're needing is some cash for that. I can stop by and pick that up
Mhm.
this week. Lucy and Jackson and I will all be at the pool, for those. I have one already requesting swimming lessons. I'll see if I can slide them in. Pool operator.
Tell him he's got to volunteer.
I know he's gotta help me.
He still has his license.
He does for another 3 years. I'm not gonna let him. Pool operator, we talked about materials for the pool. So I don't know if anybody's been over there. Have you been over there?
Not over there.
The cubbies, the wooden cubbies, they're like falling apart.
Yeah, they'll be-
I think we just get them out of there, right?
Do that.
Nobody really uses the cubbies to store their stuff except for the 65 friends that I bring over. We kind of just throw everything there. If there's any other ideas you have for storing their materials, towels, shoes, I can have them line them up against the fence. I can put them in tubs by group. There's a few different things we could do. I don't think cubbies are a necessity for immediately right now, but probably putting something that people can put their belongings in, something we talk about in the future. But I think we get them out of there because last year we had a few kids
it's winners and things like that.
There's gotta be a new, like a sustainable
That's
way,
what I
like new material
Yeah,
type thing that we can look into.
I think they just got that from the rain.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been
They
too.
tell me that.
I was when I started, so.
That's pretty good longevity, actually.
Yeah.
However, there's gotta be new material out there that we can look at that stays longer.
I was thinking.
Yeah,
the same.
playground.
Look at you. Oh, yeah, but you mind, and all kinds of, kind of, furniture.
Did you have the,
You have a book
I can,
and online.
okay, I'll look at that. Have you been to look at the girls' bathroom floor? Have you looked at the pool? It was just all chippy.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
Okay, perfect.
Does that have to be done much?
No, that'll just be them. They'll be fine.
Opening day, Paul,
Yeah.
opening day.
So this goes way back to when I was taking swimming lessons. Remember there used to be the shuffleboard? So the discs that we use as swimming lessons are the old shuffleboard discs. I looked them up. They are super expensive. There's diving discs that you can get that are like, they're colorful, they're more fun. Lucy and Jess don't have any opposition of using anything other than those. I mean, if you see them, they're heavy. If you throw them, they're kind of dangerous now that I think of it. But the more like today, the sinking, they're just sinking rings. If we ordered those, would that be something we could use for the swimming lessons? Anything, doesn't have to be the.
How about we paint some rocks?
That's pretty much what we're using right now. So those old shuffleboard discs,
Yeah,
but there's cheaper. You can buy.
you throw them in before the kid goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the kids aren't
I was
in
like,
there.
you're not like,
No.
watching that.
No, so we'll look at that and get you some options for those. And then the twins Jess and Lucy are asking for walkie-talkies. Or I guess what they use them for is if there's an emergency, they have the admissions, whoever's in the office, and then one guard on duty. So everybody can communicate. In the past, we've just bought cheap ones. I did find some on Amazon. They're waterproof, they're more reliable, things like that. Is there a budget that I should be looking?
Just when you get some options, just send it to me and we can, I mean, off the top of my head, I have no idea.
I mean, they range from crazy to the cheaper end.
Yeah, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I'd rather get something that'll last, get at least a few years out of. They definitely need them. Did they not have them last year?
We have them, they're just cheap from Walmart that we got. AAA batteries,
Right.
they don't work.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, my thought would be like rechargeable units.
Yeah, it's a whole unit, you stick it on there and
Yeah.
it charges. You don't use batteries. All right, so while we're.
Yeah, just throw a few my way and I can look at it with you and just loop it, these guys can do whatever they do.
I'm working on a list of things that Keegan will need for the training. Based on the list he gave me, it looks like a lot of stuff, but I know the school has a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna reach out to Mr. Daly and Jane Conti at the school and see if we can work with them to just borrow the stuff, even if we have to do it at their facility, that'd be fine too. And then what's the best way to order stuff for like supplies? I've just never done that part of it. Like gloves, first aid stuff.
Did Mark do it?
I have
I'm
no,
assuming he did it because none of us know the answer.
Okay.
We can
Do
figure
I
it
just get you a?
but I think WB Mason usually has a lot of it.
It's like latex gloves, gauze pads,
Yeah.
roller bandages, things.
Yeah.
Supplies.
out.
So WB Mason has probably all of that. And we have an account already set up with them, so.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
We only have two things left is the award, that we handed out last year.
Yeah, so,
Okay, we'll see.
we actually have to have, I was planning on it, but we have to have a very brief executive session about a personnel issue. So the name that we're not going to talk about now, because it's obviously an award in June, we'll be able to get to, so we're just gonna proceed just as we did last year. So after tonight, I'll talk to you.
My last thing is Sarah and I met with
I have.
company. Sarah probably has a lot more high-tech words than I do. I thought it went really well. I thought it was really beneficial for Holly, myself, Sarah. I think we would all have access to these things. And it's for me personally, it seems like a lot of these extra things that I'm doing, this system already takes care of. I know Sarah can explain it way better than I can, but I vote for it. If you guys are interested in listening to what you have to say about it.
So because of the timing, it's nothing that would happen right away.
No, it can't happen this year.
Right. So, and it can't happen, I mean, but without budget modification, it can't happen. So, was there a timeline on that quote for when it expired? I didn't look at that because I was so shocked by the sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was not gonna do it by then, but, well, at least now we know. It's something that I think we need to talk about. I was just shocked because the cost of our IT for the year
Yeah,
is the cost of that one program.
one thing.
Makes me wonder if, well, not makes me wonder, we need to look into some competition.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like, we're already doing that with IT, like we're already doing that with IT, so my suspicion is that our IT company that is really pushing their software sales has some really good software that they make a lot of money from.
Mhm.
So I'm all about competition from someone else.
Yeah.
But either way, I agree. I mean, that we need to go that route. Like, everything we're doing is trying to modernize. But again, it's just like the whole IT budget and then recreation software being the same. It's mind blowing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it was broken down, like each part of it was like 2,000, and then there was a one-time $5,000 fee for the, like, handling of it, which is pretty consistent. And, you know, we could, of course, we could get comparison. Like, no matter who you go with, they're gonna charge you that one-time.
Oh, yeah.
fee, and then it would be an annual subscription. So like, facilities rentals was a module, and then programs would be a module, which was like summer camp and, yeah, and then, what was the other one? Well, membership. So like you could choose to not do memberships, because I don't know the numbers, like how many we sell for those a year, but you could not do memberships and that would be $2,000 less, or you could not do facility rentals and that would be $2,000 less. So if you wanted to just do it for like some, yes, so
Well, like,
build
yeah.
rosters for the crowdsourcing, things like that.
I think the summer camp and the pool end of it was mostly what we're getting at, right? I mean,
They're the ones that do the dog licensing.
yeah, that's only like $750 a year.
One little job though. This is multiple.
But either way, happy with whatever we.
Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing some competitors.
I gotta look at it closer too. Like I said, when I had the sticker shock and I knew it couldn't happen right now, it just kind of went to the side of the desk.
Maybe even when it is time for renewal, it can be built in and maybe it'll throw you a bone somewhere.
Yeah, so our
If you add
renewals,
on to that.
our renewals through Edmonds for a couple of the programs are in August.
Yeah,
Or I guess before August. I need to look into that a little more.
It said it would take about, I think, four months to like build these and things like. But then once it is built too, we can manage it all over and like we don't have to go to and
Yeah, so
adjust it.
Right.
realistically, I mean, just to put this on everyone's calendar, I mean, budget season's coming up this summer. So it's something that realistically, we need to collectively make a plan on going into the next budget so that it's budgeted for, so that we're making changes after the fact. So as much as we can't decide on it now, we can't just throw it to the side till winter.
Right.
It's not for me.
But
Is that a swimming lesson?
no, it's a check for 43,000.
Looks like the swimming lesson. Mark's supposed to be dropped.
Yeah.
That is all I have. We'll be doing swimming lessons next weekend. Nobody will be getting in the pool. It'll just be, they stop in, pay.
Thank you. Okay. report is on there. Yeah. Everything that I have in there that I need to talk about is a new business, so we can move on. Bill,
We have our new chlorine tanks coming. They should be here this week, so that's checked off my list. We had an issue with the EV charging station back in the fall. One of the cables going to one of the pedestals was cut. We don't know how. The company has not come to fix it. And now I see that there's a second one cut. They appear to be cut with a pair of cutters, not like a lawnmower hit it. So it's really a safety issue in case somebody comes and doesn't notice that the cable laying on the ground is cut. And they actually put their card in to charge their car. Power will be going right to the ground, somebody will be electrocuted, so I contacted National Grid, had them pull the meter on that. And I'm waiting to hear from Livingston Energy Group as to what their course of action is gonna be. That's where it stands, out of order.
well,
Is there a fine on that?
Mhm.
Thank you.
you documentary,
The thing I noticed when I pulled in. Oh, good on that.
it wouldn't charge your truck for you.
That way, parts.
Oh, man.
That's good.
All right, anything else, Bill?
That's it.
Jerry, I heard you were Hoosick Falls 200, so I figured I'd throw that out in case you wanted to report anything.
Me and Chris both went. And really amazing. I know how many, must have 100 people on that board to.
Oh, the committee for it? Oh, yeah.
They've got a carnival plan, fireworks, parade, duck derby, road race, soapbox derby. And when we're there, they're still adding more stuff on.
You mean busy guy.
Gonna be a pretty ambitious schedule.
I can see that there's something every day.
Sure does sound like a lot of fun
Yeah,
though.
they're-
Maybe
so- Other things they brought up, I don't want to mention because maybe
they make it or don't.
they didn't, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. Just when we were there was a lot more added on.
Yes.
You'd think there'd be 100 people on the board, all the stuff they.
It'll
There's
get-
more than I
it'll get
didn't mention. That Monopoly game sounds real interesting.
Yes.
I was gonna ask more questions about that.
Well, we're generating a monopoly board with,
Yeah,
old, old businesses all around the village of Hoosick Falls, and you can buy a spot on the Monopoly board with a certain, and this game will be generated. Put your names on, there's gonna be cards.
Yeah.
That you can buy for a cheaper, sponsorship where, like a get out of jail free card or whatever. And, so, yeah, and the sponsorships are coming in fast, so, and that will be done for Christmas of this year. So it'll be available for Christmas gifts. Hoosick Falls Monopoly. Just one of the things that's moving the shape.
I think I said there were more.
Cookbook, there's a
That
cookbook.
you were talking about that.
We talked about trying to do maybe a pool dance party that they used to have here in the seventies. At the pool with maybe some live music, karaoke as part of that week-long celebration. We gotta stop adding stuff.
And they've arranged everything. They have a calendar and they've arranged pretty much so they're not interfering with stuff that other people already have, which kind of nice so you're not fighting each other. Probably the next meeting.
August of 27 is coming on fast.
And another thing I had, motor vehicle isn't closing. I had somebody call me. They heard it from a very reliable source. And they didn't want to have to make a trip all the way to the city. Well, they had issues changing everything over and it's going to be closed for a little while. But it is going to open back up. So like Bruce just told me, you kind of updated on it. That if you need to go to motor vehicle, you're probably going to have to make a trip to the city unless you can wait quite a while.
I'm gonna reach out to the county and see if we'll do some sort of a post, because I totally
Yeah.
independent of that. I had a couple different people ask me what's going on, it hasn't been there since the start of the year, what's going on, and I had no idea. I mean, I knew that were issued, but I didn't realize it was consistently closed. Yeah.
There's a lot of questions on Facebook always asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them I don't pay attention to, but I think
Right.
people started kind of cornering me and it's like, all right. So I'm gonna encourage the county to, do a post that we can then, share so that people,
And
At
a
least-
follow-up post to say when you're opening back up.
Right.
And the only other thing I'd like to say is the Niles is, I didn't go in there as much as a lot of people, but I went there often enough that they're really important. And there was other auto parts stores in the town and village and they didn't last. And they were like 9 to 5. That was it. And but years ago, I was in there and they were talking about retirement, what they were gonna do and had health issues and almost like going to a drugstore. I mean, you have to have the hose, you have to have this, and they're always there. But then you hate to see them go out like that. But they certainly are appreciated. That's all I got.
Chris, you're up.
The insurance, we submitted it back at the end of March, just waiting on, March early. We got an update from Matt, he said this week,
Yeah.
you're back. Probably we're on track.
Yeah, it's weird because some years in the past,
You had everything. That was the last.
yeah, no, it's like I said, it's not on you because I mean, there's been years where we've handed it in and we've received it in 2 weeks. And then a few years ago, I handed it in pretty early like we did this year. And we had to call a special meeting to adopt it or to accept the, proposal, quote, whatever. So it's just, now we're taking a few minutes extra, I guess, but all good. So if you do hear from Matt,
I'll follow up on it.
yeah, 'cause I don't want to schedule anything. So we're going to have to do it. It's the end of May, right? Or is it end of June?
June.
Oh,
I thought it was.
all right, then we're good. So then we can just do it at the next meeting. In my mind, I was thinking end of May. That's the end of June for the policy.
We're just trying to
Just
stay ahead of things.
double check.
I will.
As long as that's the case, we'll just have it on the agenda for next month. But when you get it, yeah, just forward it to everybody so that we can see the quotes.
See it all. And the only other thing I had was just thanking stewards. I went to a lot of different little leagues this year and it seemed like they really supplied the ice cream for most of the opening days for all the little leagues. Been doing it for a few years now and just an appreciation to them. It's a pretty good way to get them out there. We got 3 nice stores in town. It was good to see.
They're proud to
They're
support.
proud. They seem to really
They
get-
put their pictures up,
Yeah.
the ones that they're supporting.
Had a lot of people comment.
They've never said no to the town.
No,
Every fall, we do the Halloween stuff.
similar.
thing.
Yeah. And Ashley gets,
She gets
from the.
grant every summer.
So far.
Oh, I had.
All right. New business, Jackie.
No, Jackie.
What?
Remember Jackie?
Jackie's here.
Oh,
Come on, you can't see me apparently.
it's been a very long day. for me.
Every day's a long day, Eric. I know. You know what? You and I will switch and I'll start posting.
All right, so we're just gonna skip past Jack. She's the old business now. Go ahead, Jackie.
All right, so Holly and I have been working on the Hoosick board terms, and that is a project. And so we are probably gonna have to meet again. We are trying to get all of the planning board, zoning board, all of their terms, when their terms are up, when we need to appoint somebody. And then anybody who hasn't been appointed that really should be appointed, we have a list. I have created a OneDrive. Eric has access to it. Holly has access to it. I have access to it. I'm still trying to figure out how to share that amongst the whole board so everybody has access, but right now it's just the 3 of us. We are looking for any appointees or appointed people to come in and sign the book that haven't signed the book yet. That is very important, and we have quite a few that have not signed the book. So I'd like to put that statement out there. But this is a work in progress, and so Holly and I will continue forward.
The next up is Falls Fence. We are really looking to get that running. There is a resolution here tonight. I did present you with the proposal last month. So hopefully we can get that approved so that we can get it on the calendar and with Paul, get everything scheduled so we can take that portion of the castle down and then get the new fence erected so that we can have safety for our patrons that do use that space. So I don't know if we want to move to that resolution, Eric, or.
I'm fine. I mean, I'm good with that. Does anyone have any questions regarding the fence? We talked about it last month. We knew we had some time. Prior to the quote had just come in and we didn't have a resolution. So, I mean, I think everyone's in agreement that we need to put it up. Right? Yeah. So. Yeah.
59.
All right. 59, 2026 resolution regarding the contract with Falls Fence Landscape. High level, so $9,800 quote. Basically, this fence is going in the place of the old castle wall that was there, which has been deemed unsafe and security issue or a safety and security issue. When that comes down, we're looking to put up a fence so that there's still separation from the playground area to the path that sits between the playground and the courts. And that's the company that has already basically redone the fence in portions along or around the courts. All right. So resolution number 59 of 2026, motion offered by Jackie, second. Second. Gary. Holly, roll call, please.
Supervisor Shepherd,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman,
Yes.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes.
Councilperson McAuliffe,
Yes.
and Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
What else?
I think that's it for me for right now.
Now. Let's see, are there any questions for Ray before I motion for approval? Well,
There was none.
There wasn't none.
okay.
We didn't.
Well, everyone got the financial reports, correct?
Yes.
The Hoosick and Village of Hoosick Falls Court Agreement, I still have not heard anything back. The good news is that they do have a new, what's the actual term? It's a court officer. That person has been hired in part for this service. So the old agreement isn't that far away from what it should be financially, but we still need to update that. The agreement is still valid. I'm just trying to make sure that we're doing our part to fairly compensate the village for what we're doing. And that's been going well from what I hear. I did talk with the chief of police and he was just asking how it was going because, you know, the person's a new hire. I checked with Holly and everybody's happy. So I have some follow-up information that I have worked with Nathan on regarding that proposal. We'll be hearing from him in the next month. Once I hear from him on where that's at, we'll probably end up doing a follow-up workshop so that we keep making that work. As I said earlier, coming up in August, at least 2 of those modules, I guess they call them, through Edmonds are going to be up for renewal. And, you know, we're going to be doing that either way, minus the, now we're switching to, I always mess it up, GovWell or GovTech? Jared.
Well,
GovWell. Because there's a GovTech as well, it emails me like every other day. So now that we're using GovWell, that IPS through Jared will be done. But I'm trying to push that along because with the budget season coming up, I'd like to figure out what we're doing from the IT standpoint. Hazard mitigation plan, that is going to be pushed again. We are currently waiting for I talked to Ryan about this today. So we don't have permission to get into the site where we can get the plan, get the potential for the resolution that I reached out to them last week and I have heard nothing from either the county or ITM, which is the company that works for the county to finalize the plan and do the administration of it. So, Ed from the county is supposed to be back today from vacation. Still haven't heard from him. I'm sure his inbox is pretty full. I don't think there's, I mean, I'm sure they have a timeline. They haven't shared it with me. So whenever they get me the info, I'll get it to you and we can do the resolution. So Brittany Marvick has resigned from the planning board. I am looking for a motion to accept that resignation.
Motion.
Motion from Bill, second. Second from Jerry. Any discussion? All right, all in favor of accepting resignation, say aye. Any opposed? I did thank Brittany for her time. She has enough going on that she wanted to step down. She wants to be able to do everything she does in its full capacity. And it's just too late. Totally. Okay, so we have resolution number 55. This is appointing Justin Gaines to that spot on the planning board. And that term will be through December 31 of 2030. And that term comes from the open seat that was, well, that has been created, that was actually filled just in December of 25. Does anyone have any questions regarding that?
It wasn't 55, I think
It's 55.
no, it's 55, not 55, it was one of the,
Appointment to
Yes.
the planning board.
oh, I thought we already did that.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to appoint Justin Gaines to the planning board.
Motion.
Jackie, second?
Second.
Bill. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Shepherd,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman,
Yes.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes.
Councilperson McCullough.
Yes.
Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just let's make sure he gets into sign the book and then we add him to our list.
All right, so the next appointment and resolution is Brittany Quinn. She is going to be appointed to our grievance board, the bar. So we're appointing her. She is not going to be able to sit this month. And the reason is because the county was filled up on spaces for the training, which occurred last week, maybe the week before, I think it was last week. With that said, we had the open seat created back in October of 25, and we didn't make that appointment. So that seat will essentially start in filling that seat. And this is resolution number 56. So it'll be putting Brittany on through, it'll expire October 31st, 2030. I believe we will be doing it again in the fall because we have another person going on that most likely will not be rejoining. So do I have a motion to put through Brittany Quinn for the Board of Assessment Review?
Motion.
Gary?
Second.
Second by Bill. Roll call?
Supervisor Shepherd,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman.
Yeah.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes.
Councilperson McCullough,
Yes.
Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
Updated court clerk agreement. for Holly and Joanne. This was, what was this out? 10, how many years was this?
It was a little old. I think it's
Like
either 2018,
Oh,
2019.
20 years. Oh, yeah, the 10-year-old one is the court. Police. Was this one, 57?
Yep.
Okay. So, basically, Jan and Holly at times need to fill in for one another as village and town court clerks. This is just kind of, doing the paperwork to make that all legit. Does anyone have any questions for Holly or Ryan before I look for a motion? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion for resolution number 57.
Motion.
We'll give it the bill, 'cause it's closer. Okay. Jackie second.
I didn't know you were here.
Page two. Invisible cloak on the number.
Yeah, I'm gonna purposely forget the next one. Any discussion? All right, Holly, roll call.
Supervisor Shepherd.
Yep.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman. Councilperson Houghton.
Yes.
Councilperson McAuliffe.
Yes.
Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
Did the pay scale, Holly, we'll just gotta get that updated
Okay.
thing to attach with it.
Yep.
Basically, look, there's only gonna be one number change. Actually, I already have it, so I'll just forward it to you.
Sounds good.
Defense. So, couple quick things here, town tech, so, we haven't heard back from Edmonds. We're working on getting 2 laptops one for the assessor's office, one for Jared, so that when they're out in the field, they have enough technology to do what they need to do. Especially in the case of Jared, we have that new software, getting modern, and he's trying to use his phone, a small screen. You guys need something?
Yeah, is the recreation pay scale, is that a resolution?
Yeah, we did.
I know, but
The pay scale gets attached to it. So the resolution,
we don't have a resolution, copy of a resolution for it, so I'm just trying to figure out which one.
it's 58.
Oh. Oh, gotcha, okay,
You made the
Sorry.
motion.
I know, but.
So as soon as Edmonds, they both have equipment built into their budgets, so it's not going to require anything from us. I just wanted to let everyone know that we're doing that. We've spoken about it before. I encouraged them back at the first staff meeting in February timeframe to make it happen, and I pushed it again, and they both want it, so they're working at it, but I don't have quotes yet. When I do, you'll get them. Let's see, America 250. Mary reached out to me and made a good point. And I did reach out to Kevin from the village. Everything that's happening in the time frame is, not on the 4th. Rick, have you heard of anything on the actual 4th that's going on because obviously.
Yeah, the only thing I know about going on the 4th, there is a presentation going on at the Bennington Battlefield. I believe 1:30.
Okay.
A small event, it's not a big event. So that's the only thing that I've actually heard. The 4th, I believe, is on Saturday. That's really the only thing.
1:30 on the 4th is tough because everyone's already at their. But anyway,
That's but I don't believe I've heard of anything else going on. And there should be.
Banners around town or banners when you come into the town?
so I reached out to I did reach out to Kevin O'Malley, and. Both. I reached out to Tom Peabody. So, I guess at this point, we have a little bit of time, not a lot of time, but I'm gonna at least poke around and seeing if there, is interest in doing like some sort of a small ceremony before people go to, the lunch, cookouts, whatever. So I put it on there because it was something that was brought up that I kind of didn't have an answer to, but thought maybe we should. I know the 4th is tough because a lot of people go away, but at the same time, it's kind of a big one.
Yeah, it's kind of dead around here.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth. But something banners or flags or
Yeah.
something to celebrate, let's say 250 on it. We don't necessarily have to have a big event.
Right. And we probably can't just because of the
Right.
nature of the way the 4th is.
If you guys came up with something, you could definitely hang it. I mean, it would be nice to hang it on the front of the building.
Right. Or maybe when the fire trucks can hang something across the street somewhere or a big banner, I don't know. And even the fireworks aren't even on the 4th. So.
Yeah.
And they're in North Hoosick, which is unusual this year. I don't know how we're gonna fit everybody there. I mean, they have no space to park.
Yeah. All right, well, like I said, I've got feelers out there, and
Yeah, maybe come up with something.
let's see, so just a couple days ago, Dave Sutton reached out to me and wanted me to, I don't know if it's necessarily get approval, but the Ken Baker Memorial, that's right at the, like right at the, the corner. So this is the last year that fund is doing the tournament, the golf tournament. And, they have, I think it's either the 20th year or it would be the 20th year next year, but this is going to be the final year of that. And Dave was just wondering if the town would be interested in us putting a tree on each side of that memorial. Wouldn't cost us anything. He's working, between Dave and Jim, they're working on, donations to basically cover the 2 trees, but to, just kind of, I don't want to say put an end to it because that, that fund is going to be going for a long time. And it's been a huge scholarship and fund for many years. So, I guess I'm just looking for approval from you guys to kind of, give them the okay. Certainly the exact plan, if it does end up being a tree on each side of it, I'll reach out to you all, but. And if we were to do that, we could potentially do, like a little thing there and just get some pictures and a quick, quick Saturday morning ceremony thing. So, but Dave reached out to me, it was literally Friday. That's why I didn't know about it sooner. So if nobody has any opposition to it, I'll reach out to Dave and tell him to get us a plan and.
Sounds good.
So, ethics board, I talked to Jim Monahan. So this is a reminder, it's Ashley, Jim, and Jim Monahan and Wendy Baker. They're going to be conducting just a quick meeting to go over the conflict of interest forms. So we need to send out a reminder to all boards just to make sure that they get those in. But yeah, so I'm gonna have them coordinated. Jim actually came to me and was like, hey, when are we gonna meet? I said, well, I can't be there. So that's how that works, right? They meet and then the results of it would go to me.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I obviously can't be there.
yeah, but it is a public meeting that does need to be noticed.
Okay. So essentially, they're going to just go over the conflict of interest forms, make any notes of conflicts that have been noted.
Right, if there are any.
Right, and then have any questions for the board.
Right.
Okay. So, and is that when we post that, is that called, I mean, is there a certain name? Like, we've never done this as far as, I've been on here a long time, but
So it is it's like the planning board or the zoning board. It is a public body.
Okay.
It's a public meeting. And they, for a specific purpose. You could do an agenda, says what time it starts and everything, but
much better known if you show up.
they just read through the things and make note of anything that may or may not be concerning, if there are any
Right.
conflicts that were disclosed.
Okay.
Usually there are not.
All right. So I'll work on that and then you'll all know about it. And we're gonna,
And is that something minutes have to be taken for and posted?
Yeah, they should be if there are,
So
if there's.
is that
definition.
me or is, because I can't be there, right?
we'll just have Ashley take notes.
Okay,
I kind of put her on it. So she's a staff person. So
poor Ashley.
she was a good sport about it. All right. So old business. Does anyone have any new business before we move on to old business? So Sarah and myself, and I think we're going to just go with kind of what Brad had mentioned last month. We didn't do it. I've been waiting on Wendy, but she's good now, so we can get that scheduled. But instead of making that a full-on workshop, I want to just have Wendy and Brad, you and myself, and we'll just get in and knock out what we expect from them from a communication standpoint. That'll simplify it a lot and that'll get everything done. All right, so let's come back. So comprehensive plan, it was in my report that we held another meeting. We're moving ahead with a few different things. First of all, and I know I did mention this last month, but huge success story coming out of this already. So the fly car grant, that truly, the initiation of that came out of this group. And it's a great example of the whole, while it wasn't a shovel-ready project directly for the town of Hoosick, it's completely for the town of Hoosick because this fly car is going to service all of us. And it was just a really great thing to see. A lot of times you get on a board, you get on some sort of a committee and you just see nothing happen. And there's already a lot happening with, CPIC. There's multiple projects going on and everything is moving ahead. But the fly car thing was just such a huge win so early on. And hopefully at the federal level, everything happens and next year we get to see that come to fruition. But, there are other avenues that committee is looking at in regards to childcare, senior housing. And, it's really great to see. Playground committee. So at this point, we're just kind of waiting on the wall to come down and get the fence up. I've had one, has anyone more reached out? I know I got Tyson's name, but have you ever heard of him? So few different things. There is some funding that we're looking to potentially get or to go after regarding Parks and Rec. We have that old DASNY grant that we didn't get that had quite a bit of money built into it. Upwards of $100,000, I think was, I have to look, I looked at it recently, but either way, once that wall comes down, the fence is up, we do have a lot of space to work with. It's nothing that's immediate because at least in my mind, we have safer space in many different ways. But I do think there's a lot of potential there for growth in that area. And, so again, going into budget season, thinking about that, I do have some people kind of working, at getting at least some options to go in front of us. And, whether or not we were to get funding or not, we at least know what different things cost. I will say the cost of playground equipment is extraordinary. It's crazy. I couldn't to replace those few structures that we have. I was blown away. I know everything's expensive, but that stuff seems pretty extreme. And that's why I referenced the DASNY grant. So I saw Scott Bendett at a function about a month ago, maybe not quite. And I was telling him about how, the New York Ford let down and the old DASNY grant, how it's just some really ugly stories regarding, public money, grant money for this board. And he jumped right on it and said, hey, he's obviously not in the state Senate, but he's like, I want to take a look at it. So Sarah and I are working on getting kind of a timeline put together, that huge green file that Mark gave to me that I pushed on, she took and made a timeline that we have to fill in some gaps on. But, maybe it's not going to go anywhere, but at the end of the day, we knew that as of, call it 2 years ago, there were $300 million of, unfunded grants to both municipalities and organizations. And one of them is a couple blocks away because Town of Hoosick Rescue was one of them, and they still don't have their money either. So we're going to take a look at it, and if Scott wants to help us, I'm all about it. And I know Jake will, but Jake got to a spot where he was just pretty much told it's politics. This is how it is. But if Scott wants to stir it up, I'm all about it. If anyone knows how to get the list of $300 million worth of projects that aren't funded, and I knew the names of the organizations, I would gladly take that information. I think if we had that, we'd really have something to work with.
Yeah, I got on, I did a little digging around. I'll try to send over, but there was a list that showed what had been funded and what was still waiting. It was a lot of pages, but.
Yeah. Any disgruntled DASNY high up people, they would be the best.
I got a contact at DASNY if you want to find that list for it.
Are they disgruntled enough to deal with it? Because I've tried to get it and it's like, it's
Someone who works for DASNY.
Yeah, they might not be disgruntled.
Might be able to come up with that list.
If you get it to me, we'll have a story for some of the reporters. Because we're on it, $925,000. So. Okay, ongoing solar projects. I just have one update, and then Ryan, if you have anything. Haven't heard anything really from Hawthorne, and Brittany, I'm not gonna try to say the last name. The one that I was working with regarding the community, there's a name for it, but yeah. MIA. So I have reached out to Todd Sakura, who works for Clean Choice, and just kind of said, hey, who's next in line? Because I had conversations with her to the extent of, knowing what they were offering to give to the community, and now she's nowhere to be found. So one of the issues with these projects has been that the turnover in companies and employees is extreme. So kind of frustrating, but.
Yeah, I haven't heard from them in even longer amount of time, so.
It's been a while, yeah. I talked with her in January, and I heard from her once in February. We started playing phone tag, and then there's been nothing from her, I think, since like the middle of February. So it's been a couple months, and like I said, I mean, I had figures on what they were looking to spend and how, and all to be presented to us,
Yeah.
So.
They're not ready to work over there. I was over there a couple days ago, pretty tough.
Yeah, nothing's moving, Dave.
Everything's gonna be at a halt, because it's gonna have to be. I mean, until we hear more. Oh, I mean,
If they're gonna ghost us, we'll just ghost them. And we'll get a building permit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the town's job to build out the project for them and get on them for their deliverables for their building permit. So it's really, like everything, applicant led. So they gotta line up what they need to for their building permit. A lot of these things it's a financing too, and lenders, and, they sell projects,
right.
Along the way. So yeah, who knows? But the approvals don't last forever either, so.
Right.
I was just gonna ask, is there any way that we can back out as a town because we have not heard from them, or is it?
It would be if their approvals expire, then they would have to come back for reapproval.
And at that point, do we have to approve them?
You don't have to approve them unless they would need to be compliant, and we have a brand new code.
Mhm.
That makes it a lot harder to build these, so.
Yeah.
It would depend. It would depend on what they came back with. If they came back.
Weren't they at that point not too long ago, where they're gonna expire?
Well, they, in December.
They renewed, there was a renewal, they've done one renewal already.
Right. And that was because they had done just enough.
But that's almost up, because that was only like, wasn't it 90 days or something, or 180 days? I feel like it was a short time span.
I can go back and look, usually
It was
a
December,
year.
I think.
Usually it's a year,
It's 18 months.
18 months. Right, the old code had 18 months.
Mhm.
And they were under the old code, so they could come back ostensibly and ask for a renewal prior to the expiration, which is what they did last time, and that's usually what they do. They're responsive to their hard and fast deadline. So if they come back for application for a renewal, it would be under the old code and under the old, what is already in place. But if they do let it expire
Mhm.
and they don't come back
Then
and
it's
ask for a
going
new,
to
then
be-
it's a new application.
Under new code.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
I
you.
can't tell you, somebody did get a hold of me probably a month ago. And asked me about put that culvert pipe in, which was approved,
Yeah.
on Pine Valley. Right across from Margaret's.
It was probably Todd.
And I said, yeah, just, let me know when you're over there, I'll come over. But they haven't done anything with that either.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair to them, as of December, when we did that extension, or whatever you want to call it, I mean, they were checking the boxes. They were in good faith, communicating with us. Everything, it was going fine. It's just been really quiet since then, so.
The only other one I have is that National Grid easement.
Mhm.
Do you know what was the date that got in the paper? Can you just check?
Yeah, I
At some
will.
point.
I'll send it to
Send
you.
it. So from the date that Holly got that in the paper, that easement that you got to sign, we have that 30-day referendum period. So in the next, probably within the next week or so,
Right.
Yeah, it'll come to.
it'll come and then you can sign the National Grid easement. And then they can go and move that pole.
So once you know the date, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll send it to
Something
you.
I should have, but that would have been with the,
They had emailed it.
yeah, I haven't done yet. Okay. Then the only other update on solar I have is I've spoken with the county a little bit, you know, and Tiffany had told us that the county was looking to potentially go to like we're already, you know, we're in a pilot town, and there was somewhat of a push down at the county level to opt out. And it's kind of going back and forth right now within the legislature. And they actually brought Bill Film back in. Remember who was here when Bill was here? Bill was the one that came in from the county. He's retired now, but he's the one that explained to us the differences of the opt-out, the pilot, the opting in completely. And, you know, Bill's kind of the one that convinced a lot of towns in the county at that time that if you opt out completely, you could become a target for some of these tier 1 projects and whatnot. So anyway, they've been keeping me up to date a little bit on that. It's not much we can do, but I guess my question, Ryan, is, and I did get the response from them, didn't make a lot of sense, but we're already a pilot town. So if the county at their level were to opt out, what do we have to do?
That's a good question. No, I don't have an answer to that right now. I think,
It makes me feel
you
better
know,
about not knowing.
because the way it's operated for the projects we've done, since I've been involved in the town, and I don't think we had any solar projects before these ones, it was at the county level. And
Right.
so we always sent them to the county to do their pilots. And they have an attorney who Alyssa Wolberg. She's quite good. She writes up the pilot. She works with them directly to get it done. And then it goes to the school district, it comes to the town. And, you know, we just kind of say, okay, great. Yeah, that's what you worked out with the county. That's how the dollars are going to flow. And we put it in place. So it would depend on what the county ultimately decides, what it wants to do. And then I imagine they would need to give direction to all of the towns within it.
Right now-
Here's what we're doing, just like right now, it's, yes, send them our way. And
So right now, I mean, so Scatico opted out. Most of the towns in the county ended up going with the pilot,
right,
program because it was a happy medium. The one thing I will say, we've had this discussion, so I'm not going to beat it to death, but originally, when we talked about going with the pilot, we knew that we were a little bit in the driver's seat, and that hasn't really been the case because the county handles it.
Right.
Makes me wonder if the county took on a little bit of a workload that they didn't want to.
Mhm.
But
That would throw it back to the town assessor to take care of taxing it instead of them doing the pilot.
correct.
right,
Yeah, so then it would be Tiffany's role to assess those properties based on, all of the factors that assessors must consider with those types of projects.
no, there's not much we can do. I just, as I said, when Bruce called me, he knew pretty much everything that exists within our town, how we set it up, and I just kind of reaffirmed his knowledge of it. And it sounds like for the most part, the legislators are kind of in agreement that the pilot system is the right move. It's kind of that happy medium, you have some control, but you're also not a target. Some of these huge projects out in Western New York were put in towns where they said no, but now they haven't, so. Okay.
So if the county adopted full tax instead of pilot, would we have to change?
That's the thing that I don't.
It would depend on what specifically the county,
Would we have to follow suit? You don't know.
I don't know, it would depend on what they build into that requirement, yeah.
Yeah, because potentially, like
I mean,
that's a law here. So if that were to happen, there would be some work on our part to follow.
Right, and it would depend on if they built in opt-outs or,
Right.
the ability for town to come up with its own options. It would really kind of just depend on what they did top down.
No, Bruce, I mean, he's going to keep me up to date, up to speed, so. As I know more, I'll let all of you know. Like, there's only so much we can do until they make the decision, but I've at least weighed in now with my opinion, but what the town currently does, how we felt it's worked, so. All right, so we are going to need a very brief executive session. We will not be conducting any business when we out of it. So students, we can, I've got to do a motion, but then we'll sign your forms. So I'd entertain a motion to enter into executive session pending the signing of forms. Motion. Motion a second, discussion. All in favor?